Check, check. Okay. Hi. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. So this is the first panel that we are doing with the new organization, We Are Moving the Needle. For anyone who's interested, it's a really, really cool organization. It's about women and non-binary people in the music industry, specifically in producing and engineering roles, because it's a very male-dominated industry, and they give a lot of really great scholarships, grants, and opportunities for everyone. So be sure to check them out. Now I'm going to introduce you to our panel for today. First, we have Suzi Analogue. Let's give a hand for our panelists. Next, we have Eden Gray. And Demian Licht. And our greatest and our very own LäBoy. Hey. And now I'm going to leave you with them and enjoy.
Friends, family, how are we today? I just want to give a massive round of applause to our new friends here that took the time out of their busy schedules to be here with us. So, round of applause for these lovely ladies. But just for some quick introductions, we have Demian Licht, Eden Gray, and Suzi Analogue. I want to give a quick shout out to somebody who couldn't be here today. Professor Susie Green, she helped me establish what we're doing here on campus, and she introduced me to all of these lovely people. Professor, soon to be doctor, so a round of applause for Susie. We miss her, we love her, but she's kicking butt in Virginia right now, Virginia Tech. So yes, on to our guest. Well, actually, before we move on to our guest, we have a little video from the chapter president at We Are Moving the Needle, our foundation. A little intro for you guys.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sky Landgraf, Director of Partnerships and Programs for We Are Moving the Needle, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to your college chapter. Founded in 2021 by Grammy-winning and 9-time nominated mastering engineer Emily Lazar, We Are Moving the Needle is radically reshaping the future of the recording industry and breaking down barriers to transform the studio into a home for all creators to thrive. Our mission is to empower women, trans, and non-binary creators like all of you to succeed at the highest levels of the music industry. When we talk about equity, this is not just a gap in representation. It's a loss of creative potential. When 50% of the world's creators aren't being heard, we miss out on half the artistry, half the innovations, and half the music. Some see this as a problem that's too big to solve, but we don't. We Are Moving the Needle takes a two-pronged approach to our work. First, we provide tangible resources to creators that can positively impact careers in the here and now. Scholarships, microgrants, gear partnerships, and mentorship opportunities. We also work to shift industry culture and mindset through our research and advocacy. Our ultimate goal is to create a clear and meaningful pipeline to support creators at all stages of your education and career development. Our college chapters are the true heart of We Are Moving the Needle, and our work is to equip you with the resources to realize your dreams. You are the future leaders in audio, and as a member of this community, you are part of a global network of producers, engineers, songwriters, artists, and music industry professionals. As a chapter, you will have the opportunity to host and attend masterclasses and workshops, both on your campus and through our Fix the Mix career workshop series. I encourage you all to apply to our scholarships and grants, which come at rolling cycles throughout the year. We have funding to support both your time in school at the associate or undergraduate and graduate levels and professional development through partnerships like Mix with the Masters and the Los Angeles Academy of Artists and Music Production that are providing opportunities to level up your craft. Subscribe to our newsletter, follow us on Instagram, and make sure you open the many emails that your chapter leaders forward you throughout the year. Lastly, I want you to know that our door is always open. We encourage students to connect with us, whether to learn more about our scholarships, explore mentorship and workshops, or simply to tap into us as a resource. Welcome to the We Are Moving the Needle family.
But that is our mission. We want to encourage not only women and minorities, but also young men to pursue careers in technology. Not only is there a divide in maybe gender and race, but also education. There's just some young women that don't know these things exist. So it's important for us to shed light to that. But moving on with our fantastic guest, I've come up with this thing called bragging rights. So every panel we will have this. And here I'm gonna brag about my awesome friends. So first up, our very own Professor Bruno, Eden Gray. Some of you have her lessons here. Eden Gray creates music using unique techniques to express the ineffable through music technology. As an electronic music specialist, she crafts her signature sound using custom-built Euroracks and modular synthesizers. These pictures here are just 3 of Eden's releases. If you go on her Bandcamp, you will see the endless releases she has. She's super talented. And she is also a writer for a German magazine. So I want to switch our slide here. Do you want to talk about your magazines and your critics?
Sure. Yeah, I'm a writer. I'm an author for 2 German magazines, actually. So Beat is there, and I do reviews for Beat. And the other one is Das Synthesizer magazine. If you've worked with me, you know I'm obsessed with synthesizers. So in Das Synthesizer magazine, I'm doing artist interviews, interviews with module manufacturers like synthesizer inventors and builders. And this article right here is an article where I discuss this exact patch and how I do things. So yeah, it's been really nice publishing with both of them. Writing reviews is fun. And then I also wrote a couple reviews for Sound on Sound, which is a UK-based industry publication.
That's so sick. How did you find yourself in this area of music?
So when I was doing my doctorate in London, that was really good research space, like independent research. And I went to the synthesizer convention trade show in Germany from the beginning, called Super Booth. So I've been there every year almost, not every single year with the pandemic and stuff, but yeah, so then I got to meet a lot of synthesizer developers there and really explore the scene, and it's just fascinating to me how they all do their work. And
Absolutely, yeah. It's round of applause. I love that. I love you guys check out her magazines. I'm telling her to bring me some copies so we could frame them. It's deserved. It's deserved. Bring me some copies. CV Freaks. You want to talk to us about CV Freaks?
oh yes, so CV Freaks is a long time event I've been putting together since I was doing my master's at FIU. I did my professional internship in Portland, Oregon, where I started the events back in 2013. And from there, I took the events to London when I was doing my PhD. And now, since I moved back to Miami, they are here for this year. A full year of events every month where a group of pretty much anybody who you meet that works with this type of technology is really keen to talk about it and teach about it. So there's a group of us who bring out our equipment and we just show people all day and play music all day. I encourage, as you see, it says share a clock, because that way it's not like cacophonous, because I've done events where everybody just plays at different speeds and different volumes, and that's really hard to hear after a while. So that's why I say share a clock. But then we have performances, and it's just really fun. So I encourage you all to come. The next one is a week from tomorrow at the Boombox, which is in Bird Road Arts District.
So I found this little interview here I thought was really cute. So this is Eden in 2016 here.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of seeing a friend have it, or maybe like my friend had this SEM filter and I showed him how to, well, let's see, we had some sessions and I loved to play it on his system. So then I was like, I love the sounds we did so much in our sessions with his, so that I got one in my...
That's their studio electronic.
Demian, all the way from Mexico. How was your flight?
Really, really smooth.
So Demian Licht is an electronic music producer hailing from Mexico. She has performed in countless world-renowned venues, including the iconic Berghain in Berlin. Could you shed some light on this iconic Berghain, which you've been to as well? I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's like a kind of institution, and of course, it was like a very nice experience. I played there 3 times. So yeah, I mean, it's like entering into another reality because it's very like inside you can see any kind of things you like, things you don't like too much. But yeah, in terms for experience as a performance, is very unique because of the sound system, because of the energy of the place, and because yeah, as you have described, the iconic venue. So yeah, it was a really nice experience. But I think also that once you play there, like kind of like the myth dissolves.
That was my next point, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, but always there's another door or another thing to go curious about. Like, for instance, tonight I'm very like curious about what is going to happen because it's my first show in Miami, in the Grams venue. So yeah, of course it's not very kind, but all the first time in life are very special. So it's my first time I'm going to play here, so I'm very looking forward. Yeah, the present is the most important. I think.
You're playing tomorrow, right?
Tonight.
Tonight. So, Damian.
My friends are opening that show.
Really? Oh my God. So,
I didn't know that till now.
we all gotta go. Hello? Again, these 3 photos featured here are just some of her releases. Again, check out the Bandcamp. You're also an Ableton certified trainer. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, it's like, it seems that you are like certified by the German company Ableton to teach the software. So you have like passed some tests through them that evaluates your level of skills. So once you pass this exam, once you are selected and once you pass certain tasks they give you became certified by them and you can teach Ableton wherever you want and you can use the logo and you're in the page and you have some support. And now I'm starting these master classes with support of Ableton North America, and I'm gonna giving master classes in North America next year. San Francisco and other places around.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, that little Ableton logo is very, very cool. I saw that and I was like, yep, that has to go on the slide immediately. So here are just a few of some articles published about Damian. Things like Mixmag, Vice, and Pitchfork, which I'm sure you guys recognize. This little picture here is from your track, D-Craft. You want to talk a little bit about that?
D-Craft, yeah, D-Craft was my debut album that I released in 2020. Before D-Craft, I released a trilogy called Female Criminals through my label Motus Records. But I think with D-Craft, I finally achieved my own sound statement. So yeah, besides being my debut album, the most precious thing is that I finally like managed to find my own sound. This is very tricky. It takes time. But yeah, D-Craft is like the beginning kind of a new era for me as a producer.
So I have a little video here of Sin in France.
Yeah.
So here's a little demo of one of Damian's AV shows. So you could see how that could do well in Berghain. A round of applause. Yeah, please. Yeah, no. Don't ever hesitate to celebrate these women. Before we move on, so you have some gear on that table. Could you tell us really quick what you're working with there?
It was like a Livid controller and Doppler Dark Energy, talking about synths, that I got, I think, from people from the Super Booth, because I used to go there also. So yeah, at that time, because that was a Navy show from the past, but yeah, it was the Doppler Dark Energy. It was a semi-modular synthesizer, the Livid MIDI controller, and of course, Ableton Live.
The best DAW.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Suzi Analogue. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So, Suzi is a producer, a songwriter, composer, and a member of the Recording Academy. She is also the creator of Never Normal Records based here in Miami, Florida. Her music has been featured on Billboard charts, networks like Boiler Room, and worldwide radio, including the BBC. I want you to talk a little bit about your record label here. You're from the Bronx, which has inspired the logo, right?
Okay, BX, BX, BX. I hear that in here. I'm from the whole East Coast. My dad's from the Bronx, and I started my label while being with him and kind of re-entering New York after living in Philadelphia. I went to Temple University. Yeah. Okay, I love the East Coast energies.
No, this is East Coast all day around here. A little bit of Midwest, right, guys?
Yeah. And shout out the Midwest too. We wouldn't have house and
Chi-town?
techno without that. So hello. But yeah, I just decided after I had collaborated with a lot of international labels all throughout my undergrad at Temple University. I actually got signed to a label when I was 19, just by sending a demo in, and I was like doing my studies and also working with an international label in Amsterdam. So by the time I was in New York and I had graduated, I had like already almost a decade of experience working with independent labels and companies. And so I wanted a place to create my own house for my music and people around me who I knew were forward thinking in their approach with production and beats and instrumental and hip hop based music. I mean, dance, everything that I loved. And when I would go out to shows, I would see people and I would just go up to them and be like, have you dropped something yet? And they're like, no. And I was just like, all right, let me help. So that's how Never Normal was really born, really out of necessity for the underground, my love for the underground, wanting to help connect people and it's like I knew the world was gonna be the way it is now. I knew that we needed to become data. Like I needed to help these people not fall into obscurity. And also myself, I had that experience with doing that for myself and seeing how it was enriching my life. And so Never Normal is a product of that. It's a bunch of allies who believe in pushing music forward and helping communities, especially communities that tend to be more marginalized, and knowing that we come together as technologists. Like everyone who's associated with Never Normal is by proxy a technologist in their own right. So they might be multidisciplinary. They may be a DJ producer or a songwriter. Like I have DJs who play the harp. It's like, you know, there's no space for that in the mainstream music industry, but I see it in, especially in being able to go to Europe, which both of you on this panel, like we've taken our crafts worldwide because we know in the United States, we're actually limited a lot as to what we can share and express. But in other countries, it may be more space for that. I just did a European tour, and last summer I did a European tour where I brought Never Normal artists with me, and we did a takeover in different cities throughout Europe. So to me, it's all about bringing us together and sharing this love for technology, music, the dance floor, expression, culture, and strength and empowering one another. And that's really what Never Normal represents.
And that's why we absolutely had to have you, because everything you guys believe in, we do too. So again, thank you for coming. This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here. I'm shaking over here, but it's so cool to sit here and speak with you guys. But back to you, of course. Again, there's only 3 records up here on the board, but she has so many. I urge you to go check it out. There's a lot of bangers on there, trust me. I've actually compiled a playlist of my favorites. So each of you have 5 tracks, and I will be sending that out to you guys so you guys can take a listen. So here are some more articles that have been written about Suzi. This is DJ Mag, Vogue, and the New York Times, which I'm sure you guys are also familiar with. And this is Never Normal at the Lot Radio, which is so sick. Do you guys recognize a little background right there? It's all over Instagram. Like, they post these clips. It's the iconic sticker wall. Here's this little clip here with you and your friends.
If you don't know, if you don't know, if you don't know, if you don't know, shut your mouth. If you don't know, if you don't know, if you don't know, if you don't know, shut your mouth. If you don't know my voice by now, then read what you call the face. If you don't know my voice by now, then read what you call the face.
So, I mean, all of them have a very different sound as well. All of you, while yes, you are electronic musicians, you express it differently, which is also was important to showcase here. But question time, even more questions. And then I want to open up the floor to you guys and encourage you to speak to these lovely ladies. So let me pull out my cards here. Yes. So, we'll go down the line here. What made you really want to pursue music? So obviously we grow up and we have a love for something. We're like, yeah, like I really like this, but what was that thing that was like, okay, yes, this is what I'm gonna do? What was that for you?
The moment, I think I was like watching MTV when I was like 15 or something, and I see in television this video of the Chemical Brothers called "Hey Girl, Hey Boy," and I get totally obsessed and curious about the music, the aesthetics, the trip, the story in the video. So yeah, I think that was the trigger that makes me like go and stop school and go to Mexico City and study sound engineering, like totally like there. So yeah, they are the guilties of what I'm here now.
So you did not go to university for music?
Yeah, I study sound engineering. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Eden?
Well, I did my undergraduate here at UM in art, studio art and painting, drawing, ceramics, and that was my, and writing too. And then, but I was always producing, and I started producing similar to the reason why you did, because I saw Aphex Twin come to Daddy on M2, and I loved it so much. It just like really struck my heart chords, because I was playing piano since I was 9 for lessons.
Classical, right? You're a classical pianist.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of teachers, and then went straight from piano lessons into production. And so I was producing music on FL Studio and messing with my USB controller while I was doing my art degree. And I played it for some people, and they liked my music. So I mean, my art just took up so much space, and you know, making sculptures, and they're huge, and they take up like tons and tons of space. But music takes up no space, so people like my music. So then I went back to FIU for my master's in music technology, and that really opened my mind to like composing with Maximus P first, and then that's how I got into the modular synths, because Maximus P and being all inside the box and patching inside the computer was really hard for me, because as an artist I do a lot of hands-on things, and so the modular synth just felt like Maximus P finally makes sense to me because I can patch with my hands. And so then it's more artistic too, like it looks very beautiful. There's all these colors and lights and sound, and it's just has endless potential. So yeah, then I just did the PhD, and I dedicated my whole life to music composition now and teaching you lot, which is wonderful.
Which we love, don't we, Hugh? Susie?
Why did I start doing? Okay, I experienced synesthesia. So it's an experience. It's not a condition. It's an experience where I can see sound. It's not in colors. That's chromesthesia. So someone just coughed. I could tell you were over there. I didn't even look at you. That's me following. I can see the sound. I can see the waveform. I can see the direction. That's how I experience synesthesia. So I played with that as a kid, and naturally I was gravitating towards recording, and I just had a love for recording arts. And all right, now y'all making me no, no, you can no, I'm like, are you trying to test me? No, my synesthesia is really interesting, and it really led me into my recording process. As a kid, I started recording on cassette tape at 8, 9 years old. I started dubbing my own tapes and recording my vocals and figuring out the science behind cassette and tape recording. And then eventually, by the time I was 15, I started making beats on DAWs. My first DAWs, Cakewalk, Soundforge, Gold Wave. So this is prior to me even getting into, I want to go to college, but knowing that I wanted to go, I didn't want to study music. I didn't want anyone to take the joy away from me. I had it inside. I said, how are you going to tell me how to record when I've been recording since I was 9? Or, you know, I didn't want to be on a classical track. I was classically trained vocally growing up, and also I was a part of choirs, gospel choir, school choirs, governor's choir. So I wanted to break away and just find my own sound. I was able to co-found this crew called Clip Mode with Knowledge. Y'all know Knowledge? Knowledge? No Worries, Anderson .Paak. Yeah, the producer, me, him, Mind Design, who's on tour right now, and Devin, who I co-founded a producer crew, and we started to play events like in Los Angeles during the height of the beat making wave called Low End Theory. And it just naturally took over. I just kept stepping in. I knew I wanted to tour in Europe. I knew I wanted to do these things that I saw my peers do, specifically the things I saw my male peers doing. I knew I wanted to achieve these things too, and I just never let it stop me, because my love for music, sound, and recording always came from within me, and I never thought about my gender as a limitation. And so I've continued to follow that path, and I think what helped me when I was young, if we're talking about who we saw doing it, seeing people like Missy Elliott, you know, with Timbaland, and them in the studio, seeing that on MTV, that really encouraged me to know, oh, like girls can be in the studio too, and all the records she was making with other people like Aaliyah, and that let me know that, oh, girls can be producers too. So I think having that representation was really important to have me feel super confident to step in.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that, all of you. We talked about Decraft briefly, and you mentioned finding your sound. Can we talk a little bit more about how exactly you found your sound?
I think it was like also through my love from cinema. As you can feel in my music, it has this like cinematic quality. So first that was the input, I will say. And then I think was the processing. So I find my tools within the music production process. And once you find it, it's like magic because it's like a marriage, you know? And I think that's the key, like define the tools that are gonna define your sound in synthesis. Yeah, simple, minimal, like that. Yeah.
How did I find my sound? So I love so many types of music, as I'm sure as music people we do. I don't really, that's a hard one.
I know.
Because we have so many sounds we like. So, like, I really love electro, so I try to compose in that direction. But I also love drum and bass, so once in a while I'll try to, take an element from drum and bass and wind it into electro. But like when I'm performing live, I got into the noise scene because in London, because it was like more free and I didn't have to push play on my computer to play back my beats, but I could play the modular synthesizer live and try to construct a beat just with the synthesizer live. And it's exciting for me and it's exciting for everybody who's listening. Sometimes, it's crazy and noisy, but it's just an amazing sound because it's so full and analog. A lot of hybrid digital analog sounds, which are just, they sound so good. So I guess that's why I use the modular synthesizer. But in composing the tracks, just always kind of involving some of those synthesizer sounds in the tracks and then having them for home listening or a DJ set or what have you.
How did I find my sound? So in 2015, I taught a beat making class in Kampala, Uganda, East Africa. And after I taught that class, I was like, I came back, I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I was like, how can yeah, BK. I was in Bed-Stuy. I love the New York energy in here. All right. And so I came back and I was like, how the heck am I gonna like I felt like while I was in East Africa, I was always explaining to people like what my style was with words. And that felt redundant. And I was like, I wish I could just press play. Hold up. What if I make a series of music to let people know what all my inspirations are? So that's when I started this series called Zones. And there's 4 volumes of Zones, 11 tracks each. It's 44 tracks. So you can listen to it on your favorite streaming platform. But these tracks represent all of my inspirations sonically in a music form. So they're my original compositions, a few collaborations where I'm blending all the different styles of dance music, house music, drum and bass, hip hop, acid, like whatever I want. I just told myself I want it to be very limitless, synthesizer music, like vocals. My vocals are on there. And that's what Zones is. And through that series helped platform me as an artist where other people, other professionals started listening. After I dropped Zones, I was invited to join the Recording Academy. I was asked to go on tour with people like Sylvan Esso. I met other people like Toon Yards and Nico Case and like all these people who were telling me they were fans of my music because I was just doing whatever I wanted. And I realized, oh, this is my sound now. Not there was one sound. My sound is challenging every sound. And that's what I've embraced. And being experimental is usually seen as being less marketable or less successful, but we're actually in an era where we all need to be experimental. We're living in an experimental society. This whole thing's an experiment, it feels like. And so if you have a mind to be experimental, now's the time to step into it and own that experimental quality, not to have anyone make you feel like you're less of a serious artist because you use experimental music as your foundation. So I embrace the fact that I can say with my sound, I'm known for being experimental. However, these are the genres that inspire me. And at any given time, I might give you a whole EP like this style, this style, this style, this style. But that's why I chose the name Never Normal, because you never know what to expect from me. And that is my style.
Keep them guessing, always.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we just talked about how you find your sound, and of course, this ultimately does take years to develop, just like a career. So from when you were originally inspired as a kid to now, how has your vision for your career developed over time, and who or what has influenced it? If it hasn't changed, why?
Well, it's a complex question. You cannot explain it like in a reply because, as I have said, I'm in this industry or scene since I'm a child. So of course it's gonna change because you enter like thinking that everything is gonna be pink and smooth and easy, and it's not like that. Music industry is tough, really tough. So nowadays, now that I know the dynamics and the energies inside, it's changing, definitely. And it's morphing all the time. And also because in every country, in every continent, it's a different dynamic. So yeah, it's a complex question, but of course, yeah, I think it's a more realistic position about what is music and what is music industry. And once you know it, I think it's a more like real way to navigate within. I don't know if I'm.
No, I understand. I understand. Just traveling and meeting different people and also seeing what it's really like being in it. That's how you've chosen to move forward with your career. That's how you've made choices. No, that's beautiful.
Oh, sorry. So it's been really challenging as a woman artist. In the beginning, I didn't feel that my gender meant anything, and then as I kept going on, and I was like, why am I not getting my music out? What's happening? I have so much music right now, and the first albums I put out on Femme Records. And I remember getting a few jabs on the We Are the Music Makers forum, which is not a thing anymore. The forum is done, but I was just like, well, I don't, my music is good. I love it. So, and some people like it, but then you'd always have somebody trying to turn you down, and in the beginning. So when Bandcamp started, then I was like really happy because I can put out my music and feels like a big weight off my shoulders, and I don't have to pay any money to put it on there, and I don't need to have a label or anything, and it just had more of a freedom. So it was Bandcamp, and then getting involved at Super Booth, where they had me perform 3 times, and one year they had the ladies, like feature of ladies. I think it was 2017. And so that was really nice that they gave me so many opportunities there and made me feel at home there. And so, yeah, that's my answer.
So how have I changed since I started? All right, I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna be real. When I started, even though I didn't think about gender, I didn't know how socialized I was to not believe in myself, right? I didn't know that society was telling me I wasn't what I knew I was. So I said, "Oh, I'm just a singer." Or people will come up to me, "I make music." "Oh, do you sing?" That's the first thing they think. Meanwhile, I was writing songs. I was literally notating songs, writing them, playing them on my keyboard, practicing them. So then I said, well, maybe I'm a singer songwriter and I own that. But people would still say, oh, the first thing, especially, and don't do this to other femme identified people. If they say they make music, don't ask them if they sing first. It's just historically a little rude. So that's what people would say. And I'm like, no, I don't just, because then you come in, right? And I'm like defending myself, like, no, I don't just sing, I songwrite. I play the key. Like, why am I getting defensive?
Why do you have to prove yourself?
Why do I have to prove myself in the beginning? Just let them, what do you play? Or, just ask a simple question. Anyway, I was socialized into not believing myself, so I had to talk myself into owning what I do. Like, yes, I'm a singer-songwriter. It went from that was for a while, but then I was programming on DAWs with computers. I'm doing computer math, like programming, notation. Like, oh yeah. I started telling my mom first. Your mom always believes in you. So I was like, Mom, I make beats. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I make beats. Cause look, she's like, I can make a beat. She was joking on me, but I started at least saying I made beats. I was just saying I make beats. I didn't say I'm a beat maker. I did not say I'm a producer. I did not say I was a composer, but I was those things. It took me until after I even made that crew with Knowledge and Mind Design and Devin Who, being around 3 other guys who were owning it, for me to feel confident to say, because they saw it in me. They're like, yeah, Suzi, yeah, of course. Like, you've been doing this. Like, you're sick. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I need to own this more. So I started to say, I'm a producer. And that took decades for me to say, I am a producer. But once I said it, it changed my life. And now I say I'm a composer too. I have music and films and TV on HBO and stuff. It's like, I'm a composer. And if you make music digitally, people kind of want to tell you you're not a composer in a traditional sense, but don't let anybody tell you what you're not. Own what you are. And I would say that's the biggest learning experience of my journey. I didn't always believe I was exactly who I was, and it's taken time. But today, I'm glad to be here with y'all, being fully who I am.
And we are certainly happy to have you. But seriously, imposter syndrome is real, and it's something that we all struggle with, being around so many amazing people. But I mean, don't take it from me, take it from these very successful people here in front of you. Own what you do and be confident in it, because you have to believe in yourself to make it out here. You have to, yes, I'm here, yes, I'm gonna get this done. But on a little more lighthearted note, and then I wanna open up the floor to you guys. You guys have gone to travel the world and meet so many amazing people. What has been your favorite? If you could list one, you could list a couple. What has been maybe your favorite country or person or experience that you've had in your professional music career?
Favorite one?
Or a couple? I know it's a hard question.
Yeah. Well, something to remember. I think playing in China. Yeah, because it's a tricky country and it's far away. And yeah, I think that was one of the main ones. Yeah.
China?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I play in Beijing and Shanghai.
Yeah, that's fast. Did you play Dada?
Sorry?
Did you play Dada? The club Dada?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we both.
Yes, yes.
Put it on your list, guys.
Yeah, but they closed Dada. Yeah.
No, they reopened.
Yeah?
They just, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think that one, of course, very kind. I was iconic. Also, when I perform in BBC Radio. Yeah, this because there are institutions within the music scene. Yeah, but in terms of the experience, yeah, I think it was China. And Japan also. Yeah, because it's crazy, It's so far away.
The opposite side.
Yeah,
of the world.
yeah. Yeah, these places, I think. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I did EMS in Stockholm, which was really nice. And I spent 2 weeks on 2 different synthesizers in a residency. And it was the first week on the Buchla and the second week on the Surge. And both were had some original components from the 70s. So that was really fun to work with those. and Stockholm was amazing, and I got to see Autechre live there, and so that's a really neat place. And then, of course, Berlin, Super Booth, go without saying, because I've mentioned it like 100 times already. And Hamburg in Germany. That was my favorite performance I ever did for the EFIL Electric Harmonic series in Hamburg. And I was there at Christmas time, so I got to go to the Christmas markets in Germany. I think that's it for me.
As for me, my favorite performances, one is Immortalized. You could check out my project Infinite Zones. You'll see me shouting into the ether on the cover. The Nile River was behind me, and my bass was reverbing off the Nile River in front of me. So you could like actually see me physicalize how passionate I felt in that moment, and that's the cover of Infinite Zones. That was at Nege Nege Fest in Jinja, Uganda, and the Nile River was behind me. I'm like, oh, full circle, Afro diaspora. So that was dope. I did really love playing in Beijing. No, for real. I would tell before I did that, I was like, that's one of my favorites. But this past summer, I played at Ormside Projects. It's in London, and I played with this dude Slickback, who's been making this like crazy bass music, and they brought us a whole stack of sound system. And I always wanted to play on a UK sound system, and so this summer I was able to do that. And yeah, as far as like experiences, I would say like I've gotten to meet like a lot of different people, which has been cool. But I guess the top person I've met, I mean, not this is like Beyonce. Like, so like that's been cool. Like,
Yeah, that's a good one.
that was a good one. But I was like, wow, my music is like taking me here to like meet this lady, and it was casual. It wasn't even like I'm just like, wow, this is my community. Great.
That is amazing. Again, thank you for taking the time out of your schedules to sit here with me and talk to me and let me grill you guys. Before we close out, I do want to open the floor to my friends here. Please come here. Come here. Let me give you the microphone.
Hello. I had a question, not specifically to anyone, but you guys all talked about experimental music, and for me, an issue or kind of like the process of me trying to be experimental, trying to be like Aphex Twin adjacent, or just trying to create something like really unique and something different, is how to like naturally go with it. Because sometimes for me, the foundation is just like I just want to make something weird. I just want to make something like that's like totally new, but then it almost feels like I'm trying too hard to be like super like avant-garde or super experimental. In a way, I feel like there is an approach, like obviously modulation, synthesis stuff, where you're like, okay, I'm drawing inspiration, but I also just want to kind of make this thing unique and weird without like trying too hard. Basically, is my question.
Can I ask you a question? Do you ever think of the story you're trying to tell when you're making this music?
It's more of like sounds to me. It's more of like this sounds like this sounds like that. It's yeah, it's definitely less of like a story or like a
I
yeah.
think by applying a narrative and applying your own spirit to that narrative, you're gonna find out what makes sense for you to add and detract. Like if you're telling a story sonically, if you're composing music as though it's a story, you're going to introduce different sections, ebbs and flows in the story. So you would know, oh, that doesn't sound right here because that's not what you're telling. That's not the story. You might have to give yourself some assignments. That's
Yeah.
what Zones was for me. I'm like, I want to make a track that sounds like I'm having a tight hug because I want to be hugged. And like, that was it. So I wanted all the sounds to swell up, and then I had a drop because I'm sonically telling a story. So by assigning a narrative to the objective of your composition, you may be able to find what makes sense spiritually to you in a way that just playing with sounds won't.
True. Totally.
Yeah, and just like adding, because I think the thing you describe is great to have an script, and also because to have an script is gonna limit you. Otherwise, you have a wide ways to go, you know,
Yeah.
and that's very tricky. It's very difficult. But if you have the script, it's like the ways are arrow and it's more direct and efficient. So yeah, if you already have all the technology stuff, sound, you already have the tools. Now the script is gonna like direct you.
For sure.
Yeah, it's limitation.
Yeah, like a sound design prompt. Give yourself like an assignment and make a bunch of crazy sounds. Like I've been telling some of you to make sample banks, then to share with friends or, but don't just pull samples off the internet, but make your own sounds and get really into the nitty gritty of sound design and have fun and make your narrative. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Any other questions for our ladies here? Dante, please come on up.
Were there any times after you started pursuing music as a career that you strongly doubted yourself or considered going down a different path career-wise?
Yeah, many times, because as you will see in your path, and as I have said, music industry is very tough. It's the reality, okay? So there are gonna be plenty of times that you are gonna think, what I'm doing here, I need to do something else. And then it's about how strong your spirit is and how strong your convictions are if you want to continue. Because of course you are going to learn and experiment a lot of beautiful things, crazy things, people. But yeah, it's really a decision because it's not going to be easy at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's about keeping your spirit strong because you're gonna. So this happens to people a lot. They achieve a high success and then they're like, "Where do I go from here?" Like you might get to where you thought you want to be, and then you're like, "Why do I still feel empty?" Or you might get to where you are with a friend, and then the friend goes up, and then you're still right here, and you're like, "Dang, I should quit because I didn't go with them, and we started off together." And it's like, no. You have to know why you're doing it and keep feeding your spirit and keep your spirit strong because actually, this is going to test you for the rest of your life. I'm thinking about being a musician when I'm 90 or something, right? And now I'm seeing Herbie Hancock. Recently, I saw him this year play, and I'm like, dang, I want to be like Herbie. Like, he's out here just playing his tracks. Like nothing happened. Like, how did he stay strong all these years? So it's like, you really have to stay spiritually connected with yourself. And I think that's what I saw from him. And that's what I took away. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter what my friend is doing or, if my manager doesn't understand me this day, because that's going to happen. You might have people on your team telling you, like, nah, you don't do this, don't do. It's always going to be a test every day. It's about what you want and how you want to evolve your life. So you always have to ask yourself what you're in it for, because actually the conditions, especially in this country, that are not supportive of, honestly, it's not really supportive of the arts that much like in other countries. The conditions are more geared towards having you quit. So you really, every day, if you choose to be a creative, especially a musician, it's a fight every single day. It's never going to be easy. Even when people are all applauding, they want you to make something like they loved the last time and you want to make something different. I mean, it's always going to be something. So yeah, you just keep focused on why you want to do it and what you want out of it.
Yeah, we all go through our seasons. Like every expression you have is going to be evolving with you, going through different times of your season, and changing with you and growing with you. And you just have to love it and keep loving it and learning. Learning is really important. Don't say I have learned as much as I can about what I'm doing, because you can always learn more from other people and from your gear too.
Thank you.
Martin. I gotta get you for the video. I gotta get you the microphone.
Hello. Oh my God. Okay. I just wanted to I was just curious, like, because you were talking about there was a moment where you felt that you were doing the right thing. You found yourself, you found your sound, but knowing that you found your sound came from like outsider perspectives and other people. So I just wanted to know what were some of the indicators that you felt like you were doing the right thing and that you were going to be successful.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, I liked it.
You like that's a
I was happy.
Okay.
That was first. And I was like, this is dope. Like, so I had that conviction, but for some reason, I feel like when you have that conviction, you're embodying it, it rubs off. So
Yeah.
when you press play for somebody, you're like, this is it. It kind of rubs off. Usually it does. That confidence is really infectious. So I felt good about it. And I think that was a start, and it just took shape from there. But then I think getting, like, if I think materially, I was playing it for people and I got press. Like, at least one journalist was like, I'll write about it. And you start to see those things. That's like a marker of like, all right, cool. You got the journalists on deck. You need the journalists. And from there, you start to see the comments. People are leaving about it. And then you start getting opportunities. So these are the things that let you know you're going in the right direction at the very least. To who are you getting involved in your community in the narrative? And if they're all supportive, then it's usually meaning that it's responding well in the community. So that's helpful.
Thank you.
We have one more question, and then I shall free you guys. But thank you for sticking around, all of you. Love you very much.
I've just got a question for Susie. I want to know what your biggest roadblock when you were starting your label was.
Biggest roadblock, I ain't had no money. No capital. No access to capital. I'm a woman of color. They don't just give us loans. So I have a song called A Way Outta. I made a way out of no way. Honestly, experiential marketing, DIY marketing, friends and pop-ups and creating alliances with spaces that people are like, wow, how did you get to do an event here? It's because I was like real with somebody. I was like, yo, I don't have any money. I would like to do an event here. Can I? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. Aligning myself with stuff like that by being real and letting people know what my challenge was. So instead of running from my challenge, I utilized my challenge to help find the real community that could support me through the challenge. So yeah, like gaining access to capital is hard in general, especially in music. I have learned that investors don't want to invest in record labels, and it's a very risky business. They rather invest in a product that can sit on a shelf. So it's stuff that you learn throughout that, especially being underground and DIY and independent, to get your stuff off the ground and utilize community who believes in you. So I've had to learn how to navigate that for sure. But as you saw from some of the press I've garnered and things I've been able to do, it doesn't stop you. You just learn how to make the most with the least. And in the long run, when the payday does come, that big payday in the sky, you're going to know what to do with it more than somebody it was just handed to. So definitely, if access to capital is a challenge for you, budget and make the most of what you got.
Challenges and yes, well, capital. Yeah, it's a challenge for everybody starting a label. And the whole admin thing. You don't really want to do office work. You want to create. So that's always something. But you can apply for funding. You can find different outlets to help you. Yeah.
Well, maybe just to close up. Also, I think I suggest to be flexible, because maybe you have this idea that, okay, I want to arrive to that point, but never is going to be the things as exactly as you imagine. So you need to know how to surf. I don't know, it's an analogy, of course, but You need to be flexible and be very intuitive to decodify what is the way you are gonna navigate, because it's never it's gonna be linear exactly as you have imagined. So you need to prepare yourself with many tools, even spiritual, physical, languages, financial. Being a musician in this moment in the world is 50% the music or the sound, and other 50% other skills that you need to develop. So yeah, it's like a it's a challenge, definitely. Yeah, but I think it worth it. Yeah, it worth it because you are gonna like find many things about yourself and about the world through this path called music.
Could I please have a massive round of applause for these ladies here? Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being with us and being with me and supporting us in this panel. Please, everybody is performing tonight, so you guys have to go check out at Gramps.
Please.
I'm not performing, but
Yeah, but if you wanna go, then you wanna have some fun. I see you there. Yeah.
go dance.
Yeah, please. Yeah, your friends are playing.